Hi Taurus, welcome to Universal Guidance. It's time for your reading. I have shuffled these cards very well. I'm going to shuffle them a few more times. It's going to be a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be in the center of the first part of the reading. So here we go. Please cut. For Taurus, please. Taurus in March. Here you are. Taurus in March. So Taurus, the overall energy of your reading is this Queen of Wands, male or female. Possible fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Might be strong in your chart or in someone else's chart around this reading. But more importantly, it is about the wand that this queen holds. That is a wand of new beginnings and fresh starts. You also might have a love of gardens and animals or pets here. But this is a wand of new beginnings and passion. This can be a wand of passion. So let's read on. Let's find out why the Queen of Wands surrounds your entire reading. Up here in your highest energy, the Five of Pentacles. Feeling alone? I think you are. I think you're feeling I like just lonely. That's what I feel. It's right next to the Knight of Pentacles. It's like, is anybody ever going to come in and offer a pentacle, which is security, stability, a commitment, some kind of groundedness in a relationship? This is earth energy, really heavy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, this Knight of Pentacles. This is the slowest moving energy in the deck. And I think that's how you're feeling. You're feeling humdrum. You're feeling like you've been alone for a while. And you're kind of like almost giving up on a relationship, it feels like, for this pentacle, because it's taken so long to come in. It's right next to the Four of Cups. So be careful, because if this Knight of Pentacles comes in and the love offer comes in and you're in this Five of Pentacles, you do not accept it, and when you should, because just be aware of that. But this Four of Cups, this is like like I say, you're giving up on love. It's like you don't even want to look at a cup here. It's like, nah, you're all the same, It always turns out the same way. That kind of energy, that's what I feel here. So this is up here in your highest energy. If this sounds kind of like what you're going through now, this is probably your reading. If it doesn't, it's not your reading. Okay. So right under this Five of Pentacles, just I think being alone for a long time, is the Hierophant. This is your card, Taurus. So this is about commitment again. So it's taking forever for a grounded relationship to come in for you. You're about ready to give up on love. That's what I feel like. This Hierophant here is traditional values and morals. This is what you need. This is what you seek. You want a traditional relationship. You want to go on a date. You want to get engaged, then get married. I mean, male or female, it doesn't matter. But you do want to, buy a house, have kids. Just do it in a traditional way. This Hierophant, which is very spiritual, is sitting right next to the overall energy of this reading, which is the Queen of Wands. So a fresh start, new beginning. You probably do want passion in your life too. Waiting for this grounded relationship to come in, yet almost ready to give up on love here. Next to the Queen of Wands is the Eight of Pentacles. So I kind of feel like it feels like you've been in this energy for quite some time right here. Because I know that because the Knight of Pentacles is right in the center, very slow. But I feel like you're like ready for a breath of fresh air. You're like, okay, maybe I'm ready for a fresh new start. Maybe I'm ready to open mind to other possibilities in love. It probably won't work out, but maybe I am ready to see if there's someone special out there for me. It feels like you're getting ready to focus on this. You're getting ready to work on finding the security and stability here of a relationship, of a love offer. So now you're starting to focus on a partner for your life. Under the Hierophant is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, this is the energy of, and I think this is your energy, having a giant cup of love, giant, male or female here with the King. This King of Cups is a possible water sign, which would be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. They could be strong in your chart or around this reading. But the thing about this card is that it tells me that you have a huge cup of love, but you've been holding it close to your body. You haven't been willing to hand it out. You're a very mature thinker, okay? You want a traditional relationship here. And if it doesn't come along, you're not handing it out. It's like you have been around the block and you're just tired. You're tired of handing out that cup of love, and you're not going to unless the right person comes in. Now, what's been going on here, and you, whether you realize this or not, you've been in the middle of a spiritual lesson. This is the Judgment card. You know, this card hasn't come out for quite some time. And you're the lucky one. You get to have the Judgment card, and it's right under the Queen of Wands, and it's right next to the King of Cups. So what I think here is you've been, the spiritual lesson that your guardian angels and spirit guides and the whole universe has been teaching you is it's how to recognize, or how to be patient, for one thing, because it takes a lot of patience to wait for this Knight of Pentacles to come in. And how to hang on to this cup of love until the right person comes along. So it feels like all these, you know, being lonely and not being with somebody, you might have been jumping into some of these relationships a little too fast before you got to know them, and it didn't work out. And it kind of, that's what got you into this place up here in your highest energy. You've never lost that giant cup of love. You only pulled it back. You just weren't handing it out. You're ready for a fresh start now. I feel like you learned a spiritual lesson because you are holding this cup of love back, and you are going to be much more mature about seeking a new relationship here. Excuse me. This Judgment card is right next to the Justice card. This is like self-justice. You worked on yourself. You got your scales balanced. You have your sword up. You're in self-protection mode. This is the card for Libra. Libra might be in your chart, might be in someone else's chart around this reading, but this energy here is having your scales balanced, your guard up. You got your self-justice, like within yourself. And that's why you're ready to seek another relationship here. This is all part of your healing. This is all part of your judgment, your learning experience. And it's how to keep your scales balanced when you're out there in the world, you know, trying to discover if there is someone out there that you can have a stable and grounded relationship with. I'm going to take out more cards for your second part of the reading. And let's see what's going on. With it going the way it is, I kind of feel like something might be happening here. Of course, just springtime, almost at the end of, I believe. There's that pentacle that you need, that you've been waiting for. Okay. I think what we're talking about here now is your spiritual lesson. You are getting ready. You are getting ready for a new beginning here. This pentacle is still moving forward. It's like I said, the slowest moving energy in the deck. So what we have is the Seven of Swords. The cups that you were choosing before accepting, they were being deceitful. They had deceitful energy around them, lying, stealing, cheating. Oh, just something that you don't want in your life, something like that. This is what you're healing over. This is what your spiritual lesson is about. Not all cups are soulmates that are offered to you. I think you did learn that. This is a card for a soulmate card, but it's about handing a cup to another person. I think that's what this reading is all about. You know, not all cups have a flower in them. All right, you learn that. You got soulmates out there. That's why it came up in the soulmate card. So, you know, there's soulmates you've known. That's all it is. You've known them from other lifetimes. When you look in their eyes, it's like you already know them. And then there's an attraction a lot of times. And you get pulled together because you think You don't know what it is, but it's because of that familiar feeling when you look into their eyes. You've known them before. Whether they were a brother, a sister, a grocery store worker, whatever, a pet even, because they have souls. But that's what you see. It doesn't mean you have to be with them in this life. So it's right next to the Page of Pentacles. So now it looks like when you get offered this cup of love, like over here, where you were totally not looking at love and you're almost ready to give up on it, you're going to be looking for the Pentacle too. This Page of Pentacles, this is what your eyes are focused on. You don't only want the love, you want the groundedness, the stability, the security of a relationship. Right under the Seven of Swords is the Fool card. Now, this is dancing along with your head in the clouds. This is enjoying every moment, just living, it's gaiety and just living, carefree. Well, the Fool a lot of times finds himself at the edge of the cliff because they're not really looking forward. They're not thinking forward. They're just looking up in the sky and enjoying every moment. So this energy here is why you were getting this energy into your life. It's like people could see that and they would come in and have fun, but then they would, take advantage of that nature, that fun-loving nature that you really have. This Fool is right next to the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, you weren't looking at the Pentacle. You are now. So this is your focus. This is what your whole reading is about. You're going to be ready for a fresh start. You're much coming up. You're going to give yourself another chance. You're going to become willing to work on love, but you are going to also be very much hyper aware whether or not they are capable of providing security, stability, groundedness in a relationship before you even hand out your cup of love. Okay? So, you will be on guard. You're not going to accept any old wand, in this case, that's poking up there. You're going to be choosy. If that wand, if any of those wands had a pentacle on it and a cup, that's the one that you would let in. So under the Fool card is the Six of Pentacles. This is what you become balanced over. It was relationships, that energy of the Seven of Swords, the Fool dancing along with your head in the clouds. Well, it led in these energies of getting breadcrumbs out of relationships. And so that's kind of why you've spent all this time alone, all this time just almost giving up on love. It threw your scales way off balance. This is a very unbalanced card. It's right next to the Justice card here, and you become balanced over this. You're back in balance, all right? So you are you've healed, you're ready. You're primed. You're ready to go out and find a new relationship, but you're not settling for any old wand. You're not settling for any old new beginning here. Tower. The Tower is right next to that Six of Pentacles. It's under that Ace of Pentacles. You had enough Tower moments. That's what happened. That's why you got into, look at all the Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles there. That's why you ended up in this other energy. But you're coming out of it. This is the Two of Pentacles. You're a little confused still about the Pentacle, about how are you going to recognize it? How are you going to know? That is a good question. Because people they have a way sometimes of putting out there that they are capable when you come to find out they're not. Okay, so there is a little confusion going on here. You're going back and forth on this issue. But what I see here, and it's right below the Seven of Wands, you're trying to block this confusion too that you have about security and stability. You're really trying to pull yourself out of it over here, and this is what got you there. And these are a lot of things. These are experiences that you have gone through in your love life, and they're all around this Ace of Pentacles. So if I take the two center cards, this is what you're ready for right here. the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. This is what you need in your life so that you can hand out that giant cup of love, and you're getting ready to do that. You're getting ready to open your mind. You're probably going to get back into this Fool type energy, but you are going to look forward too. You're not just going to look up, okay, with your head in the clouds. So I feel like you're just getting ready. You learned your spiritual lesson. You've healed. You're balanced. And Taurus, you are ready to go out there and find somebody. So Taurus, this is your reading. And I certainly hope that you find what you're looking for. And thank you for watching Universal Guidance.